Okay, so this is Inkscape. Looks like a mess, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to learn a bit of software by making a mess, experimenting, and being fearless in what you do. So let's start off with looking at the user interface. Again, new software is going to be difficult at first because there's new icons, new words. If I start along the bottom here, on the left hand side, we've got the selector tool. We've got the node tool, really useful for editing nodes. I'll be showing you that in a moment. Shape builder, rectangle, ellipse or arc or circles, stars and polygons, 3D shapes, spiral and pen tool, and skip down to text tool. Okay, those are basic tools you're going to learn how to use this lesson, and you can see I've got a whole load on the screen. If I go and click on this shape here, I drew it with the pen tool. I can move it around, and it's got certain properties. You can see it's a little bit transparent. And if I draw your attention over here to where we've got the fill and stroke, I can actually change the fill and stroke by changing the hue here. Here we've got saturation. Saturation means the intensity of colour. Now it doesn't look like it's changed much there because of the alpha, and alpha does not mean the best. In this case, alpha is actually meaning transparency. So opaque, which means not see-through, and then fully transparent. Let's get rid of the transparency. So we can change the colour there. Now if I want to go and change the stroke, I go up to stroke here, and I can change the colour of the stroke. So yellow doesn't really look very good. Let's go blue, and again I can change the saturation, the intensity, the lightness, and the opacity. And then if I want to go and change the stroke style, I can over here by changing this. I could just type in 5, much thicker. I can do dashes, dots. Doesn't look so good. Yeah, it still doesn't look so good. I can change cap, which is how the top of the dots look. I can change the joint, the order as well, all little things that can be adjusted. So this is a very, very professional looking software that does vector graphics. Okay, these are professional graphics that can be infinitely scaled to be as big as you need them to be, and never get pixelated. Okay, so over here we've got layers. So at the moment this is the top, it's above the text. If I take it down behind the text, you can see I've moved it. If I want to send it right back to the bottom stack, then everything else is in front of it. Okay, sticking with this pen tool, this is how I drew my shape. If I want to mess with the nodes, so each time I click on a pen tool, I create a node, and I can change the nodes by dragging these handlebars out. I can add new nodes in. I can move things around. It's pretty clever. To start off with though, I want you guys to just go File, New. Okay, you're going to have a blank document. I'd like you to save it, so you're going to do Save As, and then you're going to navigate to your home drive. So you'll need to go to this PC and then go and find your home drive here and find a place to save it. Okay, then save it as something like drawing 1 mess. You're about to start your first task, but you may have a problem. These 3 dots here can be drawn out to the side and you lose your toolbar. Bring that back. If you do lose your toolbar, you can go up here and this drop down menu will allow you to find fill and stroke. Later on I'll be introducing you to layers and objects as well. So if that disappears, you just go and select it from there. Right, your first task is to do this, to go and draw 3 rectangles. First one, I want you to put a fill in, and I want you to change colour. It doesn't look like it's doing anything at the moment. Now I've got to do saturation, and now I can do lightness. So if it's too light, it will be white. If it's too dark, it's going to be black. So somewhere in the middle, choose a colour you like, select it, get the lightness you want. Maybe add a little bit of opaqueness to it. Okay, so remember what I said, opaque is not see-through and transparent is fully see-through, but this is the alpha. Okay, now I'm going to go over to stroke, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to pick a colour, maybe one that works well with the colour you've already chosen. Go through, select. This I'm going to make fully opaque, and then I'm going to go over to stroke style and can make that a little bit bigger if I want to. Right, what I want you to do is to do 3 different squares, and I want you to move them over each other and then change the colours, fill, just get into the habit of changing colours, and then do the same thing again one more time. And with your 3 squares, once you've got them all selected, they're like little windows. Let's choose a different colour. Once you've got them all selected, I want you to use the black arrow tool, hold down the shift button on your keyboard and select all 3, and then right click and then group. So group is down here, and you've just created a piece of vector art. Okay, off you go. Task 2. I'm going to use the black selection arrow up here to move this off into the workspace, and now I'm going to go and use the next tool, which is a circle. This time we're going to combine a circle with a polygon. I'm going to change the colour a little bit. Now at the moment it's just a triangle. It's got 3 sides, and if I move this up, and once I've double clicked on it, it will bring me back to it, and I can change how many corners it's got. I can also round the corners. So if I want to select them all, I could just click and drag with the black selection tool, and that selected them all. And again, I'm just going to group them, and now they are editable together. Okay, your turn. Have a go. The next thing we're going to do in Inkscape is this. I'm going to move this off the workspace again. We're going to use the best tool, which is the pen tool, and we're going to draw a really simple shape. I put money on mine, almost looking like a wave. Okay, so click. I'm going to do Control Z to undo that. I didn't like that. Click and drag, and you have these handlebars. And click and drag, and you can control these handlebars. You can see why they're called handlebars, and they can change the curve. Okay, so again, we can change our colours to whatever we want. We can do our stroke, again change it to whatever we want. The thing with the pen tool is it's a really good way to start to understand how nodes work. So if I use the node tool here now, it will allow me to come in and move the nodes around. And if I've got the handlebars long enough, it will allow me to just change them and maybe soften this a little bit. You can add nodes, you can take nodes away, yeah. So just going to make a very simple shape. I know some of you, when you do this, first of all, you'll want to go, right, I'm making a pen tool shape, and you'll end up just doing stuff that is really difficult to understand, and then all of a sudden it's just a mess. Okay, I want you to keep doing nice simple shapes so that when you come over to this node tool, you're able to edit it kind of with some control. Okay, so nice simple shape. Once you've done that, what I want you to do is do Control C and Control V. And that will allow you to copy and paste it. Now if you've got a transparency, we can now start making a repeated pattern if we want to. So I'm just going to move this over here, and then Control C, Control V again. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, and we can start making an interesting shape that combines these different shapes. Okay, so once again, off you go. Have fun, experiment. The final tool we're going to use today is the text tool. Okay, and to use the text tool we have to click over here where we've got the text tool, A. Sometimes text tool is written as a T, but in this case we're just going to click, drag, and we will write our first words, which are going to be A, B, C. I'm going to move this again with the direct selection tool. If I double click on this or highlight it, I'm going to go find where my text is. So drop down menu, you'll find text and fonts here, and it will show you a preview of the font, and when you find a font you like, just click apply and it will apply it. You've got the same thing with the stroke, so if you want to go and change the stroke on it, you need to go into the stroke menu. You've got the stroke style, you might want to reduce that so it's a little bit easier to read, and then you've got your fill as well. So go and experiment with this and write some sensible words. One last thing, if you've got something in the wrong place, let's say I want this behind the shape I've created. In order to send it back, you could right click, try and find a way to move to the back, move to layer, or send to back. With Inkscape it's much easier to use the layers and objects, and you can see my text is here at the moment, and I can actually drag my text all the way back if I want to, so it's behind the object that I'm trying to do. Now this is really useful, and I want you to think about layers in a way a bit like a sandwich. So you can have a BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato, but if I want to move the bacon all the way to the top I can, or I can move it to the middle layer, and so you have control of where it fits on the page. Off you go, enjoy.